திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய், தேடும் கயமாமுகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெரும் கருணையினாலே த பிலாசபி ஆஃப் சைவ சித்தாந்தம் என்கிற தலைப்பில் இரண்டாவது சாப்டர் தி அல்மைட்டி, அதனுடைய பாகம் 3 இன்றைய தினம் நாம் ஆங்கிலத்திலே சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. There are 3 basic entities in Saiva Siddhantam. Saiva Siddhantam accepts the Almighty called Pati. Then it accepts the second entity, the soul, and it accepts the blockage or the bondage or the darkness or the impurity or the ignorance, whatever you call it. The third one is known as Anavam. The third entity is accepted by Saiva Siddhantam. Saiva Siddhantam is giving the details and discussing the philosophy in between the 3 basic entities. So to understand the basic concepts, to understand the details of Saiva Siddhantam, you must first understand that Saiva Siddhantam narrates the details about the relationship between them among the 3 basic entities. The relationship between the Pati and Pasu, that is the Almighty and the soul, is to be established, and the soul should never leave the Almighty, and it has to rest, receiving the eternal bliss from the lotus feet of the Almighty. This is called Mukti. What do you call Mukti? Mukti means that no suffering at all, everlasting, never ending, the enjoyment, the bliss of the Lord Shiva. It was in the grip of darkness once upon a time, and even now still it is under the influence of the darkness. That is why the soul is suffering a lot. First it should understand that what is the real problem. Why should we suffer? Why should we get disappointed when we plan something else? Why should it end differently? So all these things the soul has to think about. It has to give thoughts about this, and it should finally come to a decision that how to get away from the sufferings, how to get liberated from the ignorance. We can understand that in the worldly things, they are all they don't have wisdom, they don't think, they don't react, they don't act. Those things are called the inner things. The inner things are inanimated things which don't have wisdom. They have to be handled by an animated thing. For example, In the first sutram in Shivanyana Bodham, Meigandar, Sri Meigandar, he opts to prove that there is an Almighty, and then in Sutram second, that is in the second sonnet, he proves that there is a soul, there are souls, and in the second sutram he proves the bondage, and in the third and fourth he proves that there are souls, and they are blocked from reaching the Padi by the ignorance or the Pasam. Padi, Pasu, Pasam என பகரும் ஒன்றில் பதியினை போல் பசு பாசம் அனாதி. Tirumular narrates the concept or narrates the truth that there are three basic entities which don't have beginning, which don't have ending. So those three things, the souls that we are talking about ourselves, we have been associating with the ignorance, and that causes all the sufferings of ours. So how to get away from the darkness? The patient should understand the disease. The patient should believe the doctor. The patient should cooperate for the treatment. Then only the patient will get away or get liberated or relieved from the disease, and it will be enjoying the real joy, enjoying the real joy. Nowadays, we enjoy so many things, they are not real joys. We are enjoying so many things thinking that they are giving pleasure to us, but they are not enjoyable things, because they bring in turn sufferings. Any joy you enjoy here is definitely bringing a supplement, suffering. So that is why we are seeking the bliss of Lord Shiva, which doesn't bring any suffering as side effect. All the enjoyments in this world, they bring sufferings. They bring sufferings as supplement or auxiliary. Okay. Now, the Almighty, out of the three entities, is helping the soul. The Almighty is helping the soul to get out of the darkness or the suffering. Sufferings caused by the ignorance, darkness, or anavam. It is called malam. Malam means impurity. The impurity in the soul's wisdom causes all the sufferings of the soul. So to remove the impurity from the wisdom of the soul, God is helping us. This should be basically understood. The Almighty nothing expects nothing in return for this help. That is why we attribute His grace to all His help. Grace can be the only reason. His mercy can be the only reason. Grace and mercy are one and the same. The grace or the mercy of the Almighty is the only reason that can be attributed for the behavior of the Almighty. Otherwise, what is He going to get out of us? He possesses everything. His possessions are shared by us. We are never grateful. Whatever we enjoy here or whatever we use here are the belongings of the Lordship. We don't acknowledge. We are not grateful. On the contrary, we are doing all damages to the things we enjoy here or experience here. Okay, in the last chapter, we discussed that the souls should reach the three states. One is the balanced state. The second one is the maturity maturity attainment, and the third one is called the Shaktinipadam, that is the registration of the grace of Lord Shiva. That is in three stages. The first stage is Irivinai Oppu, the balanced mental stability, balanced mental behavior, balanced mental behavior. Irivinai Oppu. Mental means, I don't mean the brain. The attitude of the soul should be that such that it will be should be treating the pleasure and the suffering on the same scale, at a par. What does it mean? It never thinks that the joy coming out of it is due to its own skill. But at the same time, it never suffers and blames others for the suffering. You don't blame anybody for your suffering. Understanding, they are caused because of your previous actions. So the behavior of the soul, then its impurity gets nullified and it reaches the maturity state called Mala Paripah. And the third one is the Sattinipadam, that is the God's grace is registered with the soul. Okay, we discussed these three states in the last session. But now, before reaching all these states, how the Almighty helps the soul to achieve all these things. See, He makes all the environmental or the circumstances favorable for the soul to use and get these states. Some or other, the souls, they never acknowledge, they never understand the help of the Almighty in the right sense. For example, you just look at the world. So many things are happening. Sun rises and sets in the evening. Rain comes. There is a water cycle. There are so many cycles. The universal activities are going on without interruption. How can it be carried out? How can it be going on like this without the triggering or without the managing of another wisdom or another thing which has wisdom? You can see the car is running. Immediately, if the car goes in a systematic manner, you just come to the conclusion it is being driven by an intelligent driver. Is it not? Will you say that the car is going by itself? It cannot go by itself. Even if it is operated by a remote, the remote is to be operated by a person with wisdom. Likewise, if the world is systematically going on, then you must come to the conclusion that there should be somebody which operates the world to behave in the systematic manner. You cannot claim that it is nature. It is nature that is behaving like this. Nature doesn't have wisdom. It is an inanimated power. It's an inanimated power. How will it behave without being operated by a person, by a thing with wisdom. That is why in the first sonnet or the first sutram, Meigandar says, Avan Aval Adu Genum Avi Muvine Mayin Totriya Tidiye Odingi Malatu Uladu Ham Andamadi Enmanar Pulavar. He says, if you want to get yourself convinced that there the Almighty exists, if you want to get yourself convinced, then you see the world, observe the world, and you can see that the inanimated things are being created, they are being maintained, and finally they are dissolved. How they are being created, how they are being maintained, how they are being dissolved without the help of or without the operation of an animated thing. Take for example our body. Our body is operated by an animated soul inside. Body by itself doesn't have any wisdom. The operating soul has the wisdom. By its wisdom, the soul operates the body. You run, you sit, you laugh, you weep, you cry, you eat. All these operations are carried out with the help of the body. And if you say that the body does all these things by itself, the body does all these things by itself, then how can you be called other than a fool? How the body can weep, how the body can cry, how the body can eat, how the body can digest. If you call it by nature, if you call it by nature, why a dead body doesn't do all these things? Why it doesn't do all these things? What is the difference between a living body and a dead body? What makes the difference? The soul makes the difference. The soul occupies the body, utilizes it, then you come to the conclusion by seeing a body, the soul has left the body. So far, the soul inside was using the body, operating the body, and was getting experiences in this world. Likewise, if you just consider the whole world at par with the body, the whole world is being operated. So many things are going on. Things are coming up. They are, for some time, they exist and then they are dissolved. Why? Unless otherwise there is a third person. There is another person. There is an Almighty with wisdom. Why we call it with wisdom? Why we call it with wisdom? It is because they are systematically operated. If you just see that there is a system, there is a regularity, you can predict. You can predict. See, if the sun rises in the morning, it rose in the morning at the east. You can be very certain. You can predict that in the evening, after about 12 hours of its rise, it will definitely set down. You can predict it. If it is a natural behavior, without the operation of a person or without the operation of a thing with wisdom, then you cannot predict it. A car moves without a driver. Can you predict how the car will go? Where will it hit? Can you just predict? No, not at all. So how we predict that there should be an almighty, there should be an almighty for the operation of the world? But how you predict it? It is because you thinks that in the world things are produced, things exist for a certain period. They are being maintained, and they one day or other they are getting dissolved. தோற்றம் நிலை கேடு. That is how our Srila Sri Meghanda establishes the fact that there should be a powerful thing, there should be a powerful reason that should be responsible for the systematic behavior of the whole universe. Haphazard behavior you cannot see. Only a predicted, only a systematic behavior you can observe. Now you cannot claim that these things are being carried out by themselves. If you say that I am walking, means you are inside the body to make it walk. A soul inside the body makes it walk. The soul should be with some wisdom, because it decides where to walk, when to walk. The body goes on the way, there is a well, then immediately the body is given instruction to stop. Do you think that the body will stop by itself on seeing the well? No. The soul inside the body gets the instructions. The soul gets the instruction that from the eye side it receives the data that there is a well, there is a deep well. Take precautions. Immediately the soul gives instructions to the leg to stop, don't move further, turn away. Unless otherwise, yet there is a soul with wisdom inside the body, how can it behave like this? I don't understand why people are refusing that the existence of souls. There are souls, and likewise the whole universe is the body of the Almighty. He is called Virada Purudan. See, inside the body, the soul is called Purudan. Likewise, the universe, the whole world is having a Purudan. That Purudan is called the Almighty. Don't get confused with the Purudottama. Virada Purudan is called. The heart of the body, likewise, at the heart of the world, the God, the Almighty, He resides there. He is there to control, to give instructions, to operate in a proper mode the whole world. That is why He reserves the right to destroy, to dissolve the whole world at one day or other. That is called Uri Kalam. So, He creates, He maintains, and He dissolves. Though the God reserves, or God is basically the responsible for all these operations of the world. Do you have the control over the wind? Do you have the control over the rain? Do you have the control over the ocean? Man thinks that he is controlling the world. No, not at all. He cannot control the world. He is not able to control his own body. He is not able to control his own thoughts. He is not able to control his own behavior. How is he going to control the whole world, universe? Do you think that anybody can have the control over the sun, control over the moon? People are exploring the possibilities of using the sun or the Mars for living. Future mankind, can they go there and can they live there? The possibilities are being explored now. Leave alone all those things. We are talking about the entire world is being operated. The entire worldly actions are being monitored. They are being monitored. Why calamities happen? Because of the irregular behavior of the souls. If the souls know that these things are being gifted by the Almighty for us to remove, to get experiences and to remove the impurity in the wisdom, if the souls are able to understand and if the souls are able to appreciate, then these calamities would not have been there in this world. Souls in the body, they are very selfish. But the whole universe is being maintained by the God who is selfless. He is merciful. He has offered the whole facilities, the entire world, with a lot of facilities for the souls to use, to get experiences, to understand, and to null away the ignorance in the wisdom by its behavior. That is why He has given the tools. Almighty is responsible for our tools. We are using so many tools. We see by our eyes, we hear by our ears, we talk by our tongue. All these things are gifted by the Almighty. That's why Upper says, Talaye ni vanangai. Talai malai talaikkaninde talayale palitherum talivani talaye ni vanangai. Kangal kanmingalo. Sevihal kenmingalo. Kaihal kupitturir. Why he says all these things? Because these tools are being gifted by Lord Shiva. Why he has gifted all these tools to the soul? Because the soul should interact with the world through its body with the tools, so that it gets experiences and understands that who is helping us, why should he help us, how long the help will go on, what is the final result the God expects out of us, what is actually the Almighty expect. So the Almighty helps the souls with the tools, and also He has offered so many things in the world to get interacted. So He has given Dhanu Karanam and then Bhuvana Bhogam. We say in two parts in Saiva Siddhantam. The Almighty has given Dhanu Karanam. The Almighty, on the other hand, also He has given Bhuvana Bhogam. That is the body and the world. Individual body, common world. You understand, the world is common to every living thing. World is not yours. It should be shared. The soul should understand that we are sharing, we are not owning. Since we are sharing, we have to live one day or other. It is not owned by us. Nothing is owned by us. Even the body is not owned by us. If you claim the ownership, then you must be able to use it at all times at your will. It doesn't happen so. When you become sick, you are out of your control. You are out of your mind. Somebody has to help you. So understand that you are sharing the whole world. Somebody doing the farming. Somebody is doing the somebody means a peasant. Let us say the peasant. He toils in the land. He gets you the paddy. He quenches your hunger. So the whole world, the soul is sharing the world. In turn, you must think what I am contributing to this world. The soul should understand. So get things from the world and also donate something to the world. The soul's purpose is that. So the Almighty gives the body. Why He gives the body? You must be useful to others. Why He has given the world? It should be useful to everybody. Every living thing, it may be a dog, it may be an elephant, or it may be a worm. All of them, all of us are sharing this entire world. Must understand. Don't claim that the world is shared only by the human beings. Then why the elements are there? Why the snakes are there? Why the crocodiles are there? Everything, living thing shares this same world. So you understand, the Almighty helps the souls by giving them Dhanu Karanam. It means Dhanu means body, Karanam means tools. Body with the tools. Bhuvana Boham. Bhuvanam means the world. Boham means things to be enjoyed. Things to be enjoyed. So the whole world is being shared by all the souls. He has created the world for sharing. He has given the body and the tools for the souls. So the souls are being provided with the tools and the body. Okay. So they understand the real motto or real project of the Lordship. Lord, He has come down. He has come down means not from third floor to ground floor. He has come down means He has come down to the level of His power. Level of His power. He has come down to the lowest level, so that He can be helpful to the souls. He makes the souls to understand that they are being helped by the Lordship. Understand, it is ungrateful not to acknowledge the help of the Lord, the gifts of the Lord. That is why our ancestors used to say, whenever you sit before your meals, thank the God. Thank the God. Don't think that you have earned them food. You are being gifted with the food. If you are useful to this world, then you deserve the food. If you are not useful to the world, if you are selfish, then you are not fit for taking the food at all. Because God has given the food to those who help others. The souls should understand why they are here, why they are temporarily placed here with the temporary arrangement of being provided with the body and the tools. It's only a temporary arrangement. It's not a permanent arrangement. Nobody can claim that I am going to be here permanently. No, not at all. When you have a date of birth, be sure that you will have a date of death. Somebody is going to collect a death certificate on behalf of you, one day or other. It is inevitable. So if you understand this theory, then you will understand and you will acknowledge and you will be grateful to the Almighty. So Almighty has given you the body and the tools. By seeing the world, you can infer. By observing the whole world's activities, you can infer. Since the behavior of the whole world is systematic, there should be somebody with the most powerful talent, because he is able to handle all the souls at the same time. He is not handling me and afterwards he is not going to handle you. Not like that. When he is handling me, at the same time he is handling thousands and thousands of souls. Innumerable souls are being handled by the Lordship at the same time. That is why he is being claimed as omnipresent. Omnipresent. So how can we measure the power of the Almighty? How can we do it? How we are not competent, we are incompetent to measure the power of Lord Shiva. You must understand that. You must basically understand that if he is so merciful to help the souls, why don't we also be merciful to some extent? At least to some extent. He is merciful to every soul, each and every soul. He is merciful to us. He is merciful to me. He shows kindness to me. He is ready to forgive me. When he is ready to forgive me, when he is ready to bear with my shortcomings, why don't I be? To a certain extent at least, not to the extent of the Almighty. That is the theory that Almighty possesses. Almighty makes the soul to understand his behavior. Almighty expects the soul to understand his mercy. Almighty operates or creates or maintains all these activities. Why? Because it makes the soul to understand the love of God, the mercy of God, the kindness of God. If it understands the love, kindness, mercy of the Almighty, then it will also show love, mercy, kindness to other souls. This is the lesson he wants to be taught. You should not always be at the receiving end. You should also give back something. When you get so many things from God, why don't you be helpful to others, other souls? So basically, Almighty expects the soul to understand his love and expects the soul to show the love to others. So by giving the tools, the body, the word, Dhanu Karana Bhavana Bhogangal, he expects the soul to cultivate love. So ultimately, the basic idea of the Almighty is to cultivate the love by the soul, to get rid of the darkness in their wisdom. That is the finest most powerful medicine to drive the ignorance, darkness in the wisdom. அன்பு அன்பு சிவம் இரண்டென்பர் அறிகிலார். What does it mean? If you don't understand the mercy of Lord Shiva, you have not understood the Lord Shiva. If you don't understand the kindness of Lord Shiva, you have not understood Lord Shiva. If you have not understood the mercy of the Lord Almighty, then you have not understood Him at all. So what do you mean by understanding or knowing God? Understanding, knowing of God is understanding, realizing the kindness of Lord. Only when you understand, you will be able to appreciate, understand, appreciate and reciprocate. Understand the love of God. Appreciate the love of God. Reciprocate the love of God and be convinced that the kindness is the only medicine. Kindness is the only remedy that will null away, that will remove the darkness, the impurity, the ignorance in your wisdom. Nothing else. What do you mean by jnanam? What do you mean by jnanam? Jnanam means, do you think that reading lot of books, hearing lot of lectures, do you think that out of the reading books and hearing lectures you can be very intelligent? No. God is not worried about your intelligence. The most intelligent person, never equal intelligence, Lord Shiva's intelligence. Can you go and show your intelligence before you? Can you light a lamp before the sun? No, not at all. Show your love. That will be appreciated. If you start showing love, then it will be definitely appreciated. What Kandapar did? Was he intelligent? Were his actions are wise enough? No. God understood the love behind his behavior. That is most important. So what he expects? He expects to remove the impurity from the wisdom of the soul. Soul is inherently possessing the wisdom. It cannot be separated. Wisdom and the soul cannot be separated. In the wisdom, there is impurity. The impurity is to be removed, like a cataract in the eye. If you want to remove the impurity from the ignorance, proper medicine, proper remedy should be for curing the disease should be sought. That medicine is nothing but love. That is why David Chekradar says, Jnanam Isan Bal Anbe. What do you mean by Isan Bal Anbe? What do you mean by showing love to Lord Shiva? My interpretation will be different. Jnanam Isan Bal Anbe means showing love to Lord Shiva, expressing our love to Lord Shiva by performing prayers, by performing lot of pujas. Does he mean that? No. Jnanam Isanbal Anbe. What does it mean? Understand the love of Lord Shiva. ஞானம் ஈசன்பால் இருக்கும் அன்பு. ஈசனில் எவ்வளோ அன்பு இருக்குன்னு அதை உணரணும். அப்பத்தான் நாம அன்பு செலுத்தலான்னு நமக்கு தோணும். ஞானம் ஞானம் what does it mean? What is the wisdom? Wisdom means understand the love of God, understand the love of God, appreciate the love of God, and then try to show it to other souls. Cultivate it. Only people with this selflessness, people who are selfish cannot cultivate love. So slowly develop your love. Slowly develop your love. Start showing to your relatives. Start showing it to your friends. Start showing it to your kith and kin. Start showing it to your neighbors. Start showing it to people not connected in any way to you. Start showing love to all living things, not only human beings. வாடிய பயிரை கண்டபோதெல்லாம் வாடினேன். That's how Vallar Peruman says. He showed mercy, he showed love to the plants without water. The plants, withering plants without water. Show your love to them. They will be able to reciprocate. They will be able to understand. Because all living things in this world, they will be able to understand love. Either it is with one sense or two senses or three senses, never mind. All living things will be able to understand love. That's how our ancestors, our mentors, our saints, they have taught us. All living things can understand love. Sometimes they may not be able to reciprocate it in the proper manner, and you will not be able to understand it also. But definitely, all living things are able to understand one thing means in this world, it is the love it will be able to understand. If you show love, they will be able to understand. So, the Almighty offers the soul individually the tools and the body to behave, to interact with the world. So to interact, He has created the world. The world is in common to all living things, but individual bodies with the tools are given to the individual souls. The souls should understand that how it got their body and the other tools, who gave them. We have come through our parents. Parents have not given our body. You understand, please. Parents have not given our body. They are one of the. There may be reasons. There may be some reasons. But ultimately, if you just go into the details, you will be able to understand that everything, every single thing in this world is offered only by Lord Shiva. He is the owner of everything in this world. When He is the owner of everything in this world, how can you claim that the body was given by your parents? No, it has come through them. It has come through them. That I accept. If the bodies are offered by the parents themselves, then they may choose the data. They may choose the parameter. My son should be fair in color, should be beautiful, should be having the body like this, like that. Likewise, they can design, isn't it? They are not able to design. Nobody designs their own son or daughter. Who is designing? You understand? If you understand that, you will be able to appreciate my point. God is great. Almighty is great. In what respect? Almighty is great in power. You say that? No. Almighty is very potential. That is why he is great. No. Almighty created the whole universe. That is why he is great. No. Almighty is great because he is very kind. He is very merciful. You cannot compare his mercy, his kindness with anything in this world. His mercy cannot be compared. His kindness cannot be compared. Even if you are not able to acknowledge, even if you are ungrateful, he doesn't stop giving you or helping you. People are saying there is no God. Do you think he is getting angry with them? No, not at all. He is still helping them to get out of their suffering. Okay, now understand his kindness. That is the understanding of Lord Shiva. Understand him means understand his love. Appreciate him means appreciate his love. If you are able to appreciate his love, if you are able to appreciate him, if you are able to understand him, then you will start showing love to everybody. Anbe Sivamaya amarndirundare. You will become the personification of love. No hatred against anybody. So start cultivating your love. You just gauge yourself or audit yourself whether your love level, kindness level has improved in this year compared to the last year. My kindness level, has it improved? If you just quench your hunger by killing other living things, can you say that your love is in the ascending order? No. If you have stopped killing living things and if you are going to become a pure vegetarian now, okay, you have come to a higher level of kindness. Compare yourself, audit yourself. Don't expect others to compare or audit your kindness. You are the best judge of yourself. Judge yourself. So measure each and every time what is your kindness level. If you are just convinced that your kindness level is in the upwards, state, or it is in the ascending mode, then you can say that you are nearing the Lord. You are approaching the Lord. You are doing really a puja, a prayer, without showing kindness to others. The Almighty expects that. That is why He has given us the tools. That is why He has given the world. He expects all the souls to help each other and develop their kindness, so that at a stage the kindness will remove the impurity, darkness in their wisdom, and they will be fit enough to indulge, to enjoy the bliss of the Lord Shiva. You understand? So you understand the Almighty expects the souls to enter into the three states. We have discussed three states in the last session. These three states, how will it be reached? How will they be reached? The three states, how will they be reached? They will be reached only by understanding the Almighty, First of all, you must get convinced yourself there is an Almighty in this world. Then, if He is there, what is He actually doing? How He has helped us? Understand His help, understand Him. Then you must appreciate that why He has helped you. What is He going to get out of us? Do you think that the big garland you are offering to the Lord will convince Him? Putting a large garland, making prayers with kilos and kilos of flowers? No, not at all. Not at all. Of course, they show your love. I agree. But God expects in turn what? Whether you have your heart like the flower you are offering. If you are offering the flower, is your heart is like that flower? What is its flavor? Your heart. The flower is very, very soft. It blossoms at the stage. It is selfless. Likewise, you must also, your heart should also be out of this selfish. Don't think everything for us. Try to understand that everything is for everybody. It should be shared in a proper mode. Be kind to others. Develop your love stage by stage. Every day your love level should get increased. Your kindness should go up. Likewise, if you go on developing your love, one day or other, you will be very near to the Lordship. Understand that you have not approached Him. God has approached you. He has come to you. You do not know where He is. That is why Tiriyana Sambandha Peruman says, Sendradayada Tirudayani. You can never reach Him unless otherwise you know how can you reach Him. So if you change your behavior, if you start showing love to everybody, and if you are going on developing your love, then God is coming near you. He is approaching you. Whoever extends love to others, whoever develops love to others, whoever is becoming selfless, they are being approached by Lord Shiva, stage by stage. That is how you must understand the concept of the Almighty. Don't think Almighty is like a supermarket. We can go pray and get whatever we want. No, not like that. Of course, it may be your attitude at this early stage, but once you come to a developed stage, you must understand properly the Almighty. See, understanding God at the age of 5, understanding God at the age of 10, understanding God at the age of 15, understanding God at the age of 20, understanding the Almighty at the age of 25, understanding the Almighty at the age of 35, understanding the Almighty at the age of 45, understanding the Almighty at the age of 55, understanding the Almighty at the age of 60. Do you think all these understandings will be the same? You take an audit of yourself. What is your attitude or what is your approach to the God when you are at the age of 10, when you are at the age of 30, when you are at the age of 50, when you are at the age of 60? What is your approach? What is your concept? What is your, what can we say? How you gauge Him? How do you think about God? In what way you are thinking Him as the most powerful? How do you get the idea of God? What is your idea about the Almighty? You just get yourself audited. If you just go through the details, you will understand that your idea about the Almighty is getting renovated. But if you are still thinking that God can be convinced by performing some archana in the temple, then alas, I have to pity you. I have to sympathize you. Because you have not at all understand that God. You have not at all understood the concept of God. It's very pity. It's a pity. Because at the age of 15 you performed some archani. At the age of 25 also you are performing archani. At the age of 45 you are doing some archani. And you are thinking that God is getting convinced by your archanis. Means, what can I say about that? During these days, how your love level, kindness level has increased. At one stage, your kindness is the only archana that God expects and loves. With that, we are concluding the Almighty is a real game, and Almighty, understanding the Almighty, how to understand the Almighty, how to reciprocate it, all these things we discussed in this lecture. We will continue in our next session on the coming Saturday at the same time, 12 o'clock. With that, I want to conclude the session with the 5-lettered mantra. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Tiruchitrambalam. I have to personally thank the Qatar couple, Mrs. and Mr. Saravanan. They have taken a lot of pains to make it possible. These English lectures, they are the people behind the show. They are making arrangements. They are asking me to deliver these lectures in English to make the lectures successful. Only it lies in the hands of the listeners. I do not know how many people are listening at the time of live telecast, but of course I am convinced that lot of people are witnessing, lot of people are seeing. After some time it goes up to 700 to 750 per lecture. It's a good number. I have to appreciate. It will slowly pick up, I hope. So I have to thank the Qatar couple. They have taken pains, and God will bless them. Lord Shiva will bestow them with His grace. And whoever listens, whoever appreciates, will also be blessed by the Lord Shiva. And we will meet soon in the next week, next Saturday, we will meet. And we will continue our discussion on the philosophy of Saiva Siddhantam. Thank you. Tiruchitrambalam. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகர. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.